All right, Jeremy here, Jeeps Unlimited, 303-666-9020, partsbreakers.com. I'm going to have some tubs listed today, I promise. I know I've been saying that. It's been one issue after another issue as far as just equipment going down. I literally lost a slave cylinder yesterday on the bridge. Got the whole bridge blocked off, couldn't get the washer, then the washer. It's just been a fun one. Plus we've parted ways with some of our guys. So I'm going to give you a quick video on these tubs I have sitting out here that we consider pre-dismantle. We do a little bit better pricing on our pre-dismantle stuff because it allows us to cash flow the business a little differently. We've done this for many, many years. Essentially, we'll go over it with you. I'll get you a price. That price will be less than it would be if it was completely done. There's guarantees on that, meaning that if I miss something in this process and it comes back at, as we dismantle it and it's worse than we thought, we try to speculate on areas that may, if we see a little bubbling or something, which is usually not very common on our tubs, but nonetheless, the assurance is there that if that does happen, you get the opportunity to swap a tub out if we have one to replace it with that's in equal as or better shape, even if it's, like I said, better, and that's all we have. Or if we don't have that and there's no other option, then we just cancel it out. I mean, there's no loss on your side. The benefits of doing pre-dismantle is you save a little bit more buying it that way, but it also ensures that if it comes back better than we thought, we've locked the price in, because a good grade A tub these days is running about $3,500 on a YJ. Okay, and then B's and C's they kind of go down from there. So it ranges. There's not like one size fits all or one price fits all. So you might have an A that fits in at like 3,200 or even $3, and usually in those cases it's got a couple dings on it, nothing major, but something on it that we're discounting it for. That's dismantle price, right? So pre-dismantle is going to be $300 to $500 less than that price, which is a lot considering that's usually just a little bit more than that. And we can get this to your door on whether I drive it out here in August or depending on where you're at, of course, because I'm going east this time, but or we hot shot it to you. So it is a decent savings. Definitely consider it. And as far as time frame goes to where you'll actually see the final results on what this thing actually becomes, once we get money down on it, which is a deposit, 10% usually of the total amount we're asking for it, we get it in the bay fairly quickly. Obviously we're inundated with work up there, so we have a little bit of a line already ahead of you, but I'll give you a time frame. Usually it's within 3 to 5 days. It comes in, we finish stripping it down literally to the bare tub. And if you're not familiar with what that means, check our YouTube video out, check our website, partsbreakers.com, and you can see past tubs. If not on the site, because they go out pretty quickly once they get out of stock, we usually remove them. But YouTube, I've been doing this since 2006, a long time. So you can see a good history of videos from previous ones. So, all right. So without further ado, this is a red tub, obviously. I haven't looked at it very closely. I mean, I did when it came in. It's been a few weeks. This is kind of where it sits at the moment. It's still considered pre-dismantle, even though there's an axle pulled on it, because the frame is still underneath it and there's carpet in it. I usually like to have at least the carpet out of it, but we can pull that up here in a second and just do a quick visual. And then the torque pockets, obviously those are the bottom runners. Those are usually pretty clean on our, and when I say pretty clean, I mean freaking awesome, okay? Those are the only areas that are a little hard to see until we pull those bushings out. But again, there's some tall tale signs we can look for to make sure that, hopefully that's not the case. But if it does become the case, again, we can cancel it or we can exchange it out even for one of our better tubs. So once you get in line, you're in line. All right, the only other area that's hard to see is going to be roll bar feet. Again, there's a quick area you can check right up underneath the wheel well to usually see if there's going to be an issue there. Not usually an issue in our tubs, but it's something I like to point out, because a lot of times videos like this are even used just for when people are heading out and looking at a Jeep. So again, you're going to be looking at 87 and 95. I'm going to try not to get lit up. There's obviously a wasp nest in that visor somewhere. So, and I seem to get tagged once a day out here. So The other day I got tagged in my bicep, and surprisingly it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would. So the forehead, on the other hand, didn't feel good. So I'm gonna keep my distance the best I can from that stuff. And for those of you who are out there who work around wasps and have no problem with them, I envy you, because I usually run away like a like a schoolgirl. So all right, so we're looking at the sides here. The only thing I see on the overall sides, we have I'll get up close to this one. We have a little spot here, pretty common on these. I don't see it all that often on YJs, but it's where there's and I'll show you on the inside of this. Let's see if I can get in here. Okay. It's where the see this channel here? It's where this comes down and meets, and I have seen it from time to time, but not super common. So we're gonna assume that there's gonna be a little bit of a repair work. That might be real minor, but we'll assume the worst and we'll price it as accordingly, okay? Little dimple right there on the rocker, looks like about a door ding there, so nothing major there. Cowling looks great. Windshield frame on this one isn't any good. Of course, this is another area which we won't be able to see until we pull, but it's leaching into the frame here. Usually this happens when people don't put glass in correctly, and then they leach from the inside out. So while this frame might be bad, we shouldn't hopefully have any rust on the top of this cowl to the windshield frame mounting area. But again, that's something we'll have to get into. So we're gonna price it, again, that kind of stuff, unless I see something that indicates, which I don't, just kind of dirty down here. This actually looks pretty clean. We won't adjust anything down for that. But if it is bad, we'll go a different route if you want to, or we'll just knock it down, okay? This whole Jeep came out of Arizona, so I don't suspect we're gonna see a lot on this thing because they don't use salt there. But again, it's always good to know. Floorboards, again, with this carpet, it's gonna be a little hard, and of course it's absolutely dirty inside. There's a lot of it. So basically, I can't do much, but there's paint down there, and I don't feel anything rough underneath the sand. So I'm gonna say that floorboard's probably good. Okay, back through here, this all looks nice and clean. Maybe a little bit of bubble in there, and that seam, nothing looks terrible. Corner is in excellent shape. Usually these corners, I don't care how clean the tub is, typically corners are dinged up pretty good on corners. So we'll see what the other side is. That's nice and good. A little bit there. That corner's perfect too. So we lucked out with two good corners other than that little seam there. Okay, fender on this one is off, so we can see that guy. And then falling throughout, there's I don't know where those guys are, but anyway, there's a little bit of a dent there. It's actually almost protruding than it is into it. So, okay, and then this side doesn't have any of that rust there. That looks good, nice and clean. Cowl area is nice and clean, no hail damage, anything like that. So, top side, definitely give it an A. You know, maybe a mid A or even a low, just because it does have potentially that spot over there. I'll definitely consider that, but hoping with it being 100 degrees out, I'm not going to get an overheating thing and shut this video down. The roll bar padding, again, this is the area I like to look. And there's not anything there that would make me think that the roll bars have chewed their way through or even rusty at all. So we'll get this, it'll be nice and steam clean. We don't prep them other than just cleaning them. Nice hot pressure on them, and they'll pretty shiny. Okay, all this looks good. There's no, even at the seams here, which is another area I like to look, because they seem to build up there. All right, so, and this one's got the liner. So if they have liners like this, they're almost impossible to see anything. So that's going to limit us there a little bit. But let's go ahead and look the best we can on this ground here. Yeah, so other than being dirty, this actually looks really clean. All that should come off. Torque pockets, I think, are going to be beautiful. I don't see any cracking in them, collapsing, or anything like that. They're usually pretty easy to tell. Going to be a little hard for you to see, but a lot of stuff in the way up there, I'm sure. But that should give us a pretty good idea of the shape of this guy. Okay, so as of right now, give her an A, but knock her down for Predismantle, a few other little things. And yeah, like I said, on that guy, you can kind of catch the right light and you can kind of see. It looks like Maybe something was on the inside of that. I don't really know what was there. Might have happened when they rolled the seat back, if they had something like a hammer or something sitting inside and it rolled back to that. I've seen that happen before. It basically catches it in the seat bracket and just shoves it in. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what else would have caused that coming out that way, but should be easy enough to get that one, you know, kind of just sweet talk it back in. Okay, next one is this white one here. Of course, your corners are dented, which is very common on them. We got fairly good sized dent there, a little ding here, a little more of a crease almost.